Now then, welcome to another Storm of Crows video. We've been asked on a few occasions, how do we write music together? And because Matt and Jimmy are over in Sheffield and I'm over here in Manchester, getting together is very difficult. So we're going to answer that question today, and we're going to show you in the next series of videos the process of a song written or being written, moved on to a demo, and then build up to the final product. Now this song was a latecomer to our forthcoming album, and I had this idea about if you were a musician who had some decent success, or if you got old, or if you'd come towards the end of your career, whether it be age-wise or popularity or whatever, there's got to be a point where a question comes through your mind, and that is, will you remember me? And I've been thinking about this for ages, because I watched I think it was a documentary. No, it was an interview. It was an interview on Paul McCartney, and I think he was interviewed by, Idris Elba. And Idris Elba asked him, how do you want to be remembered? And he went through all this spiel and bullshit and all that sort of stuff that McCartney does, all bravado and all that lot of crap. But then he said at the end, would you remember me? And I quite liked that little sentence, will you remember me? So I thought, well, looking from a musician's point of view, and we've had some success, and now it's done time for it to all fold up and everything, will you remember me? So this is what this song is about. While I was on holiday in Northumberland last year, we'd had day outs and things, and we'd been all over the place, and just in the evening, just sat outside on the patio overlooking the valley in nice summer sunshine, and this will you remember me kept coming back at me. And just watching the clouds go by and all that, 6 lines came to me, and they were, when the curtain comes down and the lights grow colder, when there's nothing left to see, when the lover's gone and the show is over, will you remember me? And it, just like that, I thought, right, that's brilliant. I really like that. And I could not get that out of my mind. And so, ever since that time, this has been churning and 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 churning. And so much time has gone past now, and it's still there. So there's got to be something to it. There's got to be something, if you can remember it like that, it's got to be a good idea. So I thought today that would be a good one to write on. So I've written down those 6 lines. Hey! And what we need is a little bit of music for that bit. And then we'll try and come up with some, verses. Maybe have a little bit of a middle 8 or something. I don't know, we'll build it as we go along, but music is what we need. So I quite like, we'll play an A, and we just need to try and put it out. When the curtain comes down and the lights grow colder, when there's nothing left to see, when the love that's gone and the show is over, will you remember me? That might be something. And what did we do the first time? I like that. Let's write them down with them. so that's the chorus bit. So verse. I like that verse. What was that verse? Well, that was quick. I like things like that when it comes together like that. Right, so now we need words. Any ideas? Oh, me neither. When I was young, I could not find the words. That's quite apt, isn't it, really? Yeah, I like that. Let's go for that then. When I was young, I could not find the words. Take inspiration from the now, eh? Yeah. Play something. Anything? Different. Yeah, that's alright. Without you, I could not find the words. So very time I stood in front of a crowd. Playing something different. Very hard to play it out. Ooh, got an F. What were them? That was an F, wasn't it? F, G. No. Right, so what's the middle bit? So we've got that F and then I've changed. Yeah, then.
Then I've changed.
And drew me away.
Drew me away.
Took me to a place.
Which place? Any place.
Anywhere but here, right? Yes.
Took me to a place.
Where I've since stayed, yes. Took me to a place where I've since stayed. I think we have our first verse. Well, I'm not going to bore you any longer than I already have. So I'm going to carry on working with this, and then I'll come back to you very soon, hopefully with a finished song. Bye bye for now. And churning 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 and churning.